Friday Fuel.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Friday.
How's it going, everybody?
Morning.
We have a very spectacular episode in store for everybody. I'm super excited for today.
Yes, what Donnie said. Hey, real quick, be sure to let StreamYard see who you are, because you'll show up like that where it just says Facebook user. We'll throw up a link in the chat so that you can do that. But yeah, welcome. We've got a very special guest today. If you've been living under a rock, you may not know who he is, but he's pretty big in the insurance space, and he's played a pretty special role in all of our lives and in our businesses, and we're happy to have him on the show today. So anybody want to say anything before we bring him on?
He's our insurance dad. He's our insurance father, man, for real.
Let's just bring him on, dude. Bring him out.
Without any further ado, Mr. Cody Askins.
What is up? What is up, man? Dude,
Wow.
Adam, Alex, Collin, Donald. I love you guys, bro. Excited to be here. What's up, Ryan England? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I can't say that like Donald, though. Happy Friday Fuel. Like,
Friday Fuel.
Dude, so much
Cracks
better
me
than
up every time, man.
So much better. What's up,
Cracks
Joe?
me
What's
up
up,
every
Melissa?
time.
This is gonna be a fun episode, man. I'm excited to be here. I love you guys. This is awesome.
We're really excited to have you
Very
on. We
excited to
appreciate
have
you coming on and dropping some knowledge with everybody. For those that don't know much about you or have just seen some of the videos that you put up, give us a little bit of background. Who's Cody Askins? Where'd you get your start? And go from there.
Yeah, I'm just a friend of Alex, Collin, Donald, and Adams.
Oh yeah,
that
for
has
sure.
never accomplished
That's all you are.
anything. That wakes up and feels like he hasn't done anything in his life. Dude, I'm an average dude, man. I'm originally from Arkansas. My dad's been in business 34 years. When I was 19, I made $117K cold calling, cold door knocking to sell insurance. Alex isn't even 20 yet, so he's still younger than I was, which is insane. And I played at a little Bible college. While I was there, I decided to become an agent full time, and made some money. And then I made six figures for years. And then in 2015, I'm giving you like the super clip, no fast version. 2015, I started putting out content to help others in the industry. 7.5 years later, we reached 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. One of the largest insurance agent training YouTube channel focused. I put up over 11,000 videos online, over 2,600 on YouTube. I have a team and a bunch of companies and staff, and now we are helping agents around the world with marketing and branding and recruiting. And now today, and I can't still dunk, but I used to be able to.
You still have yet to play me in basketball too, Cody.
Dude, I would love for us to make that a Friday Fuel episode. Me just destroying you 21-0 in basketball.
No.
I would love to see you score. Like, I would give you $100 if you could score on me.
Okay. Okay.
Alex has got that athletic build, but I can tell he just shoots like this.
Okay, Collin. I see how it is.
Dude, they're doubting you. You know what's funny about this, and this is like true in sales too, man. The person who's more confident, everybody just believes that it's them. In this example, I'm definitely more confident.
I'm just staying humble.
Humble but hungry, right?
Yeah.
This reminds me of when we were on set shooting for Ultimate Agent Season 2, and you would get so mad at us because we would just be like in the bullpen, laughing our heads off, cracking jokes, and you're in the other room trying to film, and you're like, guys, shut up.
I would be like, hey, can you guys get to freaking work, man? It's like, you reminded me of my young sales team. I got like 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds that are making like $240,000 this year, and they freaking, it's like a club, a party every day, man. I'm like, can you guys shut up and go to work? It's fun though. It makes it also your dad believes in you, which he should, so that's good. And you know what we need to do? All 5 of us need to meet at Alex's house in Tulsa for like a weekend. Just hang out, play some ball. You guys put it on the calendar, and I'll come show up. Who else in the syndicate would join us and stay at Ali Saleh and Alex's house, man?
We'll pack 40 deep inside that house.
We'll make it a retreat. We'll make it.
He could charge $500 for a mastermind and call it good, man.
There we go. Yeah, I'll give you guys some of the money. I'll charge people to come stay at your house, but then I'll make sure I give you.
That's fair.
I have an idea for that though. Once we're done with the show, I have an idea.
Okay, look at that, dude. Ideas are rolling. Why can't you say it share it publicly?
Well, I can't. I don't want to make too many promises.
Just keep them.
It's hard to when there's so many people watching. I mean, there's about 20 people watching. There's going to be a bunch of different people flowing in. So
Dude, there should be 200 watching. You kidding me?
True.
You know?
True.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping today's one of our bigger shows. I mean, already we've had a pretty consistent stream of people watching. That's, we typically average like 12, 15 viewers. So 19 is pretty good. Thank you all for being on. And we're really grateful to have Cody here with us. So, Cody, I would like to know, first and foremost,
La Vida Loca, Topo Chico.
Carbonated water with no
This
lime
episode
or
is brought to you by Medicare Machine Factory and Topo Chico water.
Yes.
Drink it hard.
So, Cody, what really inspired you to get started with the 8% Nation movement? Like, where did that come from?
That's a good question. So I've always wanted to speak into events. Nobody saw me as a speaker because I'd never spoke. It's kind of funny how that works. Like for you to be known at something, people have to see you doing it. And I was at Cardone's conference 10X in Vegas, and I'm like, man, our industry needs something modern and fun and engaging and entertaining. That's like, just different, man. And I truly believe still that majority of insurance events are boring. There's no energy. I literally saw someone share like an FMO event when there were multiple people in the same row, laid back in these seats, asleep. Multiple people and there were thousands there, multiple people in the same row asleep. And somebody shot me a screenshot. No lie. I need to put that up as an ad. And they said, I may do that. They said, this is no 8%. Right. And so that's one of the biggest reasons is I believe in having fun, man. I'm showing water. I'm hanging out with you guys. We're talking about basketball and planning random events at your house. Like people want to be entertained nowadays and have some fun, and you're like, dude, we'll keep most of the audience today. The number should steadily grow. Why? Because we're going to have some fun, man. Like people want to be entertained and want you to keep their attention. And so we started it because our industry needed something like that desperately. It just didn't realize it yet.
And where do you see that going in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Is it something that you want to keep going as a conference? Is this really just to propel yourself to kind of do these bigger conferences yourself, or where do you see it going?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. I think this will surprise people. This answer will surprise people. Like my goal is to grow it to 10,000 agents. I still write that down every single day, I believe Michael Veal, I upgraded this studio and now I'm about to move in a week and do a whole new studio. I have a love for changing studios, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I also don't know that I'll do it forever though.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's $1 million a year. It takes a whole team and a ton of focus. Like, dude, Arturo's doing his event in January, I think. And he's like, bro, I never dreamed doing an event was this hard and this expensive. He said, it's freaking nuts. I'm like, bro, I tried to warn you, and for it to be successful, I've got to promote it hard year round. And I don't know that I'm going to want to do that forever. Like I want to get to where, we're doing hundreds of millions of dollars and we got all these different things. And then I may look at 8% like, do I really want to do it anymore? Like Cardone even says lately, like he's eventually only going to do 10X for like partners and clients and eventually just like not do it, and I'm like, that kind of got my attention a little bit. I'm like, man, I don't know. I mean, I think our industry will always need something like it, but I don't know if I'm always going to want to do it. And I get bored easy. I think you guys can relate to this. You see this. We hung out for a week together, Like I get bored. You talk about entertaining people. Like, dude, half the time I need to entertain myself because it's like if I'm not entertained, nobody else can be entertained.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people wonder, Cody, like because when people look at you, they look up to you. They look up to you as a mentor and everything, and you've definitely changed the industry and how everything's played out. But I feel like everyone just think that you just got there and you didn't have to go through the rut and you didn't have to go through these like pitfalls throughout your journey. So
Yeah.
a question I would have, and I think for the audience as well, like how did Cody become Cody?
Yeah, that's a question I think about all the time because I don't feel like Cody is actually Cody yet. You know, like deep down, I don't think I don't think we've seen him yet. You know, here's what I mean by that though. Like I wake up like I've never accomplished anything, super driven, frustrated with our success, pissed off most of the time, to be honest. And I created, obviously, you know, really God created Cody, but like I created Cody over these last 15 years, 8 to 15 years by doing things I don't want to do, by having 8 things I do every single day, like the cold shower. Like I'm still freaking doing the cold shower. Why? Because I believe that to be successful and to be the best version of you, you have to do things you don't want to do. You know, like we've been through a lot this year, you know, like Lauren's dad had cancer. Lauren's uncle had brain surgery. Lauren and I's relationship was struggling. My mom had chemo that came back. One of our companies was falling apart and I had to come in and save it and fire a bunch of people and spend 7 figures. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this has been the toughest year of my life by far. It's humbled me. And I believe in being vulnerable and sharing those things as they're happening. It's one thing I can get better at, like emotionally connecting with an audience. But 2, like most people don't realize this. If we surveyed a bunch of people and they saw at least my life, companies, businesses, whatever, you know, whatever that is, and you said, hey, would you like to have that? A lot of people would say yes. But dude, I can tell you this, most people on the planet would not be able to handle my life.
Yep.
They'd be in the fetal position crying because it's freaking brutally tough. And people don't realize how difficult it is to do something big and try to start a movement and get people on board and get a team behind you and really drive and push and do something big. Like I underestimated millions of times how difficult this was going to be. And if there's any mistake that I've made, it's making it look like it's been easy and that I'm just a natural born promoter and that it's like Cody just, when he touches something, it turns to gold and everything he does is successful. Dude, it's not true. And if that's a disservice that I've done to the industry, that's made people like, I want to inspire people. I want to make people think they can do anything, but I don't ever want to make people think life is going to be easy because it's not.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I think is I really admire about you, Cody. I mean, you talked about 10,000, 11,000 videos on YouTube. Like to be a professional, it's 10,000 hours. I can't imagine how many hours went into making 10,000, 11,000 videos. And it's just crazy, man, to, you know, your biggest key to success that I've seen with you is, of course, doing the things you don't want to do, but it's just relentless consistency. Like it's just something that I want to implement more in my life because I know that that's the key to massive success. So I just wanted to.
Dude, thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, dude, I've connected with you and everybody on here because you guys are good dudes. You have huge hearts. You're really good people deep down. Like you always do the right thing, and I freaking love that. I've had so many people that in the industry that I've propped up, and then they've just, like, for lack of better words, screwed Cody Askins over the years. That like I've had so many really cool big key relationships that have like moved away and tried to like punch me in the gut on the way out. That when I see good people and find good people, I try to hold on to them, and I try to get to where I do the right thing and I can keep relationships, you know. And when I find good ones, dude, I try to hold on to them. As tough as it is. Also, too, like back to the video thing, and like I think the best way for you to reach a higher version of you and to increase your potential is relentless, like you just said, relentless consistency over time. Cody Askins isn't special. I'm from Arkansas. I'm not really that smart. I can't talk right half the time. I can spell okay. I'm decent at math, but like, you know, I got kicked out of English class for plagiarism in college. Like, dude, I'm not that bright. I just work hard and I do the things every day that most people don't want to do. And yeah, it took a lot to 11,000 videos online. I was in our new office walking around shooting a video. Our office closes at 4:30 now. We backed the hours up to 7:30 to 4:30. I was at the new office walking around shooting a video at like 7:00 at night, just because we hadn't done a video in a few days. And I'm like, I'll do it, you know? And because I like when you start doing something, this is kind of a unique thing too. how often are people actually putting their back against the wall?
Mhm.
Like
Not very
what,
often at all.
how often are you putting yourself in a position where you have to perform? How much pressure are you putting on yourself? They say pressure is a privilege. Most people never actually experience the privilege because they don't experience the pressure, right? So how do you put more pressure on yourself? How do you put your back against the wall? And then the only place you have to go is forward. Dude, my favorite place to be, and I have the most fun when I put my back against the wall. Like this new office, dude, it's a lot more expensive. Our team keeps growing. We spend more on events every year. Like I keep putting my back against the wall. And is that scary? Oh my gosh, dude, I'm terrified half the time, but I'm more terrified of me being average. I put that on my story yesterday and people were like, I was kind of confused by that. I'm like, dude, being average terrifies me. Like there's one thing I don't want to be, it's average. And so I will constantly do whatever it takes to push the mission forward. And I think that's the difference is I've put myself in a place where I have to walk in the office and be jacked up in a good mood with good energy because I got 35 people in this office, 60 so in the other office, and hundreds of thousands of people around the world that are relying on Cody Askins to wake up and be the best version of him every single day. And you throw in some Colgate wisps, you keep a good breath, and before you know it, boom, you just, things get better.
And I want to speak to that pressure that you put on yourself, where it is hundreds of thousands of people that rely on Cody Askins. How do you avoid that imposter syndrome, kind of, waking up in the morning or the late hours at night and saying, man, I don't belong here? And how do you overcome those feelings?
I still have it.
Yeah.
Frankly, I still have it. And I hope it never goes away. And here's what I mean by that. If I think that like I am the person that people should be listening to, then I will slow down. Arrogance will come out of me and less people will listen and I will push people away. I think one of the unique things that I've been halfway decent at, and man, I still got a long way to go, is can I be flashy and can I show off and yeah, sure, right? Can I rock some expensive shoes on the stage at 8%, even though I probably shouldn't, whatever. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, dude, like when people text me or call me, I have random people that I haven't talked to in like years that'll text me at like 10 o'clock at night sometimes, because I've given my phone number out way too much and it drives my wife nuts. But I'm like, dude, I feel bad not responding. And like, you know what I mean? Like nobody can ever say that they reached out to Cody Askins and he ignored you for more than like 24 hours. Like it's never happened. Now, is there going to come a point where that's impossible to keep up with? Sure. But like, I still don't think I warrant or have done what it takes to have the life that we have. And I think I'm always going to feel like I'm not as good of a person or as strong as a person or like, you know what I mean, as people think. I really do believe that.
Well, I guess it's good to know that it's not just like us little people, right? But it's you too. Because I know I feel that way sometimes, like with us running the podcast, right? I feel like I need to be performing at this high level all the time and always being here if I want people to emulate what we're saying or what we're teaching on the podcast. And I can relate with that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy because like we all say we want this special life. Like deep down, we're all watching this and we're doing this thing because we want to at least have a special life that can impact and help others, right? That's what we truly want. But what are we actually doing every day to get that life that we want so that we can actually give back and help a lot of people? And most of us, if we audit our day, dude, we're not doing that much, like, am I maximizing my day? Never. Am I doing more than 99.99% of the people in the insurance industry? Yeah. So am I going to get farther quicker? Yeah, it's just science. It's just math, right? It's numbers. However, people are like, when I talk around the country, I'm like, hey, who wants to reach a higher version of themselves and be more successful, reach their potential, whatever, by show of hands. Dude, the whole room raises their hand. And the next question I always ask is, okay, if you had to picture someone who's successful, what are some of the things they do every day? And they're like, they write down their goals, they meditate, they work hard, they work out, they eat healthy, they take the cold showers, they pray, they read, whatever. They say these things, right? They get up early, they don't sleep in, et cetera, et cetera. And then I stop and I pause and I say, okay, So you guys are saying you want to be successful. You already have the answers of what the top people do. So how many of you are actually doing those things?
Hmm.
And the room just goes silent because most people in the room are doing none of those things every single day. So are they, like Andrew Tate always says, dude, if you really wanted it, you'd already have it. So it's like people say they want to be successful. They have the answers, but they're not doing the answers. So what does that, does it mean they're lying? Does it mean they say they want success, but they don't want to do the things it takes to get it? Because it's easy to be a hypocrite. Easiest person to lie to is you. But like, dude, I think the fastest way to success is mimicking successful people. And it's funny. People will get online and be like, dude, Cody Askins is a moron. You don't need to write down your goals. It's like, dude, you know what? They can believe whatever they want, but you're statistically proven that you are 900% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down every single day. 900%. Right? It's like we go to Vegas and Donald and I are playing blackjack. I can't use Alex because he's too young, but like Donald and I are playing blackjack, and this guy walks out of this Bentley, freaking dressed to the nines, tuxedo, bow tie, Rolex, security with him, stacks down $100,000 cash on the table, sitting by Donald and I, and I'm like, bro, this is cool. This guy's hanging out with us, and he says, hey, Donald. He says, hey, what's your name? You're like, Donald. He says, hey, have you played blackjack a lot? You're like, not a bunch, but I'm learning. He said, okay, stop doing that. Do this instead, and you will 900% more likely to achieve success in blackjack. Donald, would you try whatever tip he gave you?
I'd be running the tables. I'd be
Dude, it's
going
crazy.
to casino to run every bit of them tables.
So it's crazy because we will try it in the casino, but the biggest life hack in the world, we won't try it with our own life. Right? 900% more likely to achieve your goals writing down every single day. We'll try it in the casino, but we won't try it with our life. And some people are like, dude, the cold shower thing is stupid. You shouldn't do that. It's like, okay. But if the cold shower thing works for me, does that mean it can work for everyone? I think it can. Does that mean everybody's going to do it? No. Why do I do it? Well, I do it because sure, there's some health benefits, whatever. Because it wakes me the freak up. And I believe to transfer good energy, you got to be awake. Like I think at 9 a.m., 8:45 a.m. when I get on with you guys, my energy matters. There's gonna be people that are brand new in this Facebook group, maybe haven't heard me before. I get a first impression once. When you make the call to the new prospect, you get a first impression once, right? Yeah. So it wakes me up, but also it forces me to do something to start my day that I don't want to do. And I believe to have success, everybody always paints this picture like, oh, follow your passion, do whatever you want. You don't have to do tough stuff. You don't want to do it, don't do it. You can have whatever life you want. No. I believe you have to do things you don't want to do. And so I force myself to stand under the ice cold water in Missouri when it's a lot colder in Missouri than Orlando, by the way, for water. And when I was seeing Donald and Scott Cameron at the State Farm office in Ocala, like that hotel, cold water was not cold. In Missouri, dude, when it's 24 degrees outside and you've got ice cold water running through the pipes, dude, it's freezing, ridiculous cold. But my team's relying on me to be fully awake at 7:30 a.m.
That's awesome.
That's a really good point.
I've got two questions for you, Cody. So
Okay.
the first one, you talk about being kind of pissed off where you're at and like where you're going. Yeah. How do you find the bliss and the happiness during the chase of your ultimate self?
Collin would be the one to ask this question, and it's
really
a really good question. It's a very mature question too. Dude, here's the answer. Few things. One, I stop and write down what I'm grateful for every single morning. Because if I don't stop and write down what I'm grateful for, I will forget all the blessings that God has bestowed upon us. I'm also writing down now. I ask myself this question every morning. So I write down my grateful, short-term goals, long-term goals. Okay. Then I've started adding something new recently, and I'll write the question, what is my purpose? Because, dude, Cody, just like everybody else, Cody loses sight of his purpose every now and then. And there's been times where people think, you know what, Cody, you're just selfish, and your purpose is to, is Cody. It's Cody Askins. It's like maybe it is from time to time, but really the purpose should be to impact and help millions of people around the world. I want to inspire people. I want to give them hope. I want to transfer energy, and I want to help them be a better version of them. Right, and so. That's why that kind of stuff reminds me of what I'm doing, what my mission, what my vision, what my goals are, and where this thing is going. And the cool thing is, what God thinks matters, what I think matters, what all these other people in the industry that maybe aren't a fan of Cody Askins, what they think doesn't matter. It just matters what I'm doing. And like we were commenting earlier about something, and I was like, hey, is it okay? Like before we started, we were backstage before we started this live, and I was like, hey, is it okay to show off? And Collin, I think, is the one that said it matters. It really what matters is the person's heart.
Yeah.
Okay. And if that's true, which I agree with, I believe and know that my heart has always been in the right place. Do I always show it in the best light and in the best way? No, I'm human. I'll make a ton of freaking mistakes, man. You know, appreciate you, Tony. You're awesome. Love you, man. I'm going to keep making mistakes. I'm a dummy. And I upset people, but I'm committed to being vulnerable. Like I've started to be, I've started sharing all the hard things we've been through the last 8 months that when I speak every time, because the number one thing I struggled with when I was speaking was emotionally connecting with an audience. I'd run around, I'd scream and yell, I'd jump up and down, whatever, jump off the stage, freaking tackle people, all this stuff. But like, I was never emotionally connecting with the audience, you know? And so I'm really focused. I think the next evolution of Cody is being able to emotionally connect with people when I speak. And I'm really, really, really trying to get better at that.
And I know, to speak for me, like what you were saying, like your goal is to have a positive impact on hundreds, thousands, millions of people. And you've completely changed my life personally.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know this, we've talked about this, like I wouldn't still be in the industry if it wasn't for you. I've been a part of several of your like mastermind programs and groups and events and things. And it always just gave me that little extra push, little extra drive that I needed to keep going. And like I have your book, I drink out of this cup every day, or just, you know, little reminders, right? And so like you are having a positive impact. And I think that it's good to see that sometimes, because maybe you don't hear that all the time, right? But I know, at least for me, like it's something I always think about. And like I'm really grateful for, right? So thank you for that.
Appreciate you, buddy. Dude, when you told me, when we were on the way back from Churchill Downs about a year ago in the car, headed back to the hotel, and you were rolling with me, and you looked over and said, can I share this?
Yeah, please.
You said, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. You said, dude, I don't think you realize the impact that you've had on my life. You said there's been so many times I thought about leaving and quitting the industry, and you're the reason why I keep pushing, and I appreciate you. And dude, that was one of the most impactful moments of my entire career, for you to stop and like recognize that and say that. But I also want to turn it back and say that you didn't quit because of you and your family. I may have just been a voice in a wheel in the cog along the way, you know.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And Tony said, hey, but is the audience emotionally connecting with you? In the past, there's been plenty of times where they did not. And they're starting to a lot more, but not to the level that they can. Yeah.
And I want to bring attention to, you know, the four of our relationship with you, Cody, and the big point I want to make is attaching yourself to someone like Cody Askins, who will give you the opportunity of a lifetime so often. The four of us have chosen to put our belief in you, run with anything that you say. I'll drive 16 hours to get wherever you are, or down the road. So many people get opportunities of a lifetime, and they just don't take that extra effort to go see them through. You know, you were speaking about Scott Cameron. I've had so many opportunities with Cody Askins and just being around him that I've actually been able to turn down some opportunities for better ones. And believe me, the Cody has changed my life, and I've given Cody my complete belief.
Thanks, man.
And so there's plenty of people who will get opportunities in life and then could have missed that lunch. Could have said, "Hey, I'm busy, Cody. I'm not going to be able to make lunch. Sorry."
That happens.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Can you speak a little bit to, and I know you're one of those guys too, and that's why I believe in you so often, is you will take that effort and you will go the extra mile to see the opportunities through. Can you speak to kind of how to avoid the laziness and the comfortability of just saying, I'm comfortable where my life is, and that opportunity is scary, and there's so many different things and life-changing opportunities that are going to come with it. I'm just scared.
Yeah, dude. I had 4 or 5 people text me when I landed in Florida. Like, hey, I want to come meet up. And then I was telling Scott in his office, because they hired me to come down. They're at number 11 State Farm office in the country out of 21,000 offices. They hired me to help their agents add more life insurance. And am I the most qualified person for the job? Probably not, but is it going to work? You bet it is. And I was telling them about y'all and the Ultimate Agents and the reality show. And they were like, how the freak have we not heard this? I'm like, I don't know, but I love and hate when people say they've never freaking heard of it, you know? And then I was talking about Donald. I said, actually, Donald's I said, he drove 16 hours, like freaking impressive, man. Like, no, most people complain about spending $49 and driving 49 minutes. The dude is spending hundreds to drive, 16 hours. I said, I think he lives in like Central Florida somewhere. And then I text you, I said, hey, what city do you live in? Because I landed in Orlando and then I drove 90 minutes to Ocala with a driver. And he said, Ocala, Florida. I'm like, you have got to be flipping kidding me. Like, how cool and small of a world is that you're literally in the same place I am. And so I told the guy, he was here. He said, dude, have him come over. He can come see the office and hang out. And then I asked him if you could come to lunch with us, and you could hang out for a little bit. It was cool, dude, to get to see you in your element, your environment, your city, and to be able to, even introduce you to another cool guy in the space. Like, that's what it's all about. Like, it's so easy to answer your question. It gets so easy to wrap yourself up in, and if there's any mistake, if there's another mistake that I make, like, I can get wrapped up in money and business and finances and revenue. And people are like, dude, Cody's always trying to sell stuff. It's like, yeah, because I'm not a charity. I'm still running a company. I think more people should feel that way about others. They just don't promote as much. So then they just think that I'm the person that just wants to take everybody's money, I guess, all the time. Even though I will, but I only will if I think I can help them. I think if you can help them, you're obligated to take it. It's like having the cure for cancer and you don't tell anybody. Like, if I can cure a bunch of agents from being a statistic, then I should help them, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it for free. Like, when they pay attention, and that's why we don't do free events anymore. Like, when people pay, they pay attention. And I've tried to get to where overall I take a step back and remember, like, hey, dude, this is about changing lives and impacting people and having, giving positive inspiration and hope to a bunch of other people and actually benefiting their lives. And when you do that, and when you make that the focus, the money will come. And I've lost sight of that every now and then, I'll be honest.
That's a great point, Cody, without a doubt. I would have to say personally, kind of like what Adam was saying, to think back for me personally before the Ultimate Agent, not saying that I was getting ready to leave the industry, because I pretty much graduated high school and then I was starting to get my feet wet in the industry, and then have that opportunity to be on the Ultimate Agent from you, which I'm extremely grateful for.
Absolutely.
That gave my whole business a 360. It really did. And I always the other day I was looking back and I was talking with my dad about it, like the timeline of me in the industry and how it's been going and what accomplishments and achievements I've had, and like, how did I get those accomplishments and achievements? And the first number one thing is me getting the opportunity to be on the Ultimate Agent. And that's the number one thing. And then me going to these events, like the 8% this year was amazing. Right.
Amazing.
And then going to SWAT this year was amazing as well. I think you, Nate, and my dad are my 3 mentors that I look up to, you know what I mean? And if I would have never gone to, or had the opportunity from you to be on the Ultimate Agent, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity. And then obviously getting to network and, mastermind with you.
Dude, appreciate you, man. You're incredible, crazy impressive. I remember when I was your age, one of my goals was to be a millionaire before I was 30. And dude, there's a real good chance you'll do it before you're 25.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. A question I did have for you was, every and 92% of people fail in the insurance industry. So a question I had wandering is, how do you manage to overcome adversity when your back's up against the wall? You know, an agent's getting ready to quit, just kind of like an Adam situation. Adam is getting ready to leave the industry. And then obviously you had the opportunity to be with you, but what if someone doesn't have the opportunity to be with you? How are they going to push through that adversity?
Yeah.
Very good question.
Also, what is Joe talking about by hit the link?
It's for StreamYard. Like if you comment on the video, then it will show your name. Like it shows
Yeah.
Joe's name right there. If you don't click that link, it won't. It'll just say Facebook user.
Like this, Cody.
Like
It'll just say Facebook user like that.
Got it. I got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Who was the person saying dabber? It's not
Let's
live.
go.
Yeah.
Dab.
Yeah, that's Scott Murray. There we go. Yeah, I mean, overcoming adversity, man, it's like we all face it. I've had way more, probably 100x more adversity in 2023 than any other year before in my career, that sounds extreme. It sounds like a massive number, but it's true. And at times when we got so much adversity, you're back against the wall, you're struggling, like it's hard to find, like, remember who you are and not like get down and not change or morph or like get bitter or become a jerk or like get depressed or like, you know what I mean? It's very, very difficult. Like we all go through those things. We do. I think some of the things that keep me grounded, those 8 daily habits I talk about all the time, I just put on my YouTube channel a couple days ago. That's one of the big ways. And the support system that you have around you, like
Yes.
is so freaking valuable. Like my dad and Roger, and you know what I mean? Like these different people in my life that when I'm struggling, I can go to and like vent and talk. I used to think that talking and venting and sharing was like weak. Dude, I thought it was weak. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying give pain a voice, like, oh, I'm tired, but I am saying that if you need someone to talk to somebody, you know, like it helps. And I do that more lately than I ever have. And dude, it's helped me a lot because, but you need people that you're like, okay, that person has integrity. They're ethical. They have a lot of life experience and they will shoot me straight and won't tell me what I want to hear. There's a bunch of people in the industry that will just tell me what I want to hear. And that's actually that's actually something that I struggle with too, is like, everybody's just feeding me. I get a bunch of text every day and messages about how amazing we are and how much we're helping people. And it's like, dude, that could go to somebody's head really quick and they could turn into an arrogant jerk. But it's people in my life that continue to keep me grounded along the way too. And as Joe said, like your tribe, man, like your vibe attracts your tribe. And so what kind of vibe are you putting out?
And shout out Michael in the chat. Can you quickly?
Dude, I love
kinda
Michael Vigil, man. He's awesome.
Speak to the differences from the cast of season 2 and then the cast of season 1. Not to give anything, too much away, but obviously our connection with the four of us guys are a little bit different than what the connections made on season 1 for sure. So
yeah. We're missing Jarrell, Charity, and Marissa. But
I saw Marissa in here a little bit ago.
there you go. But dude, you guys are younger than our first season.
Absolutely.
Cast. By an average age. Sorry, Michael Vigil and Amanda and Patrice. Okay. And Moon. Johnny was young. The rest of them, not so much. However, dude, it was fun, man. Like I loved our first cast. Freaking awesome, amazing, and full transparency. They had more skill than collectively y'all had
Absolutely.
because the age or tenure in the industry, all those things. And so I went to Dylan before the season 1 show started. What's up, Marissa? And I was like, hey, dude, I'm worried about like some of these people haven't sold in months and they're struggling or they're like not doing well or they thought about leaving the industry. They might not even make it to the show. They may quit first. Like I was like, dude, I'm worried we're going to freaking have, produce, man, and like actually have any results. And he's like, I'm like, I think it'll make the show worse. And Dylan said something really insightful. He said, maybe it will make the show even better. And he was right. As amazing as our cast was, and as much as I freaking love them and respect them and grateful for everybody that was on the first season, I think we found ways to make the show even better in season 2. And so I'm excited. You guys are driven, hungry, both. What I love about both groups is both groups are very coachable. Both groups really want to learn. I could have said, hey, go stand outside upside down on your head for, 4 minutes and your cells will go up. And but between both the groups, most would have tried it. Now this group would have probably tried it more. However,
it would have been a competition to see who would have lasted the longest.
Correct. But yeah, dude, that's what's cool about events and the power of events and being in person with people. Like we're doing a road show December the 12th in Dallas, and I'm excited to do one big road show a month again. Super freaking stoked for that. There's a power in spending time with people. Like the bond that we've created and I've created with season 1 contestants in the season 2, dude, it doesn't go away.
No.
Like it's a bond that cannot be broken. And the relationships that come out of doing stuff like this is way more powerful than even the production or the money that you make during the contest.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I wanted to touch on something because we have a little sneak peek trailer, right, for the show I think we'll play before. But Cody, I wanted to touch on, first off, I want to thank you for being vulnerable and, touching on having a pretty hard year. From my personal experience, and this, God tears us down so that he can lift us higher. And so whenever we have a really hard year, whenever we have a really hard week, a really hard month, he's giving us the amount of humility that we need to depend on him more so that he can take us higher than we could have ever taken ourselves. And so just wanted to let you know that you're always in my prayers. Your mom's in my prayers. Cancer is not a fun thing. And so I know how hard it can be, not only on her, but on your family. And so I just wanted to let you know that I love you guys. I love your family, and that God will take you higher than you ever thought you could go.
Amen, buddy. We love you too. I appreciate that. You're right.
You're fire.
You're so right, man. It's so true. And that's what's cool about life is everybody would say, I want to reach a higher. And dude, the stuff that you say is freaking super insightful. You need to do more videos. I love the heartfelt stuff that you share. It's incredible. We all say we want to become a better version of us, but it doesn't happen without what you just said, the struggles and the sacrifices and the things that get in the way. And so now, dude, when something bad happens or something tough happens, or I go through a window of defeat and losses, I now know that that means something amazing is just around the corner, which means that the struggle is a blessing. Yeah. The sacrifice is a blessing. The tough stuff is a blessing, even though we don't see it as such, because if it makes me tougher, better, be able to emotionally connect with people better because I'm going through a lot and I'm able to be more vulnerable, then it's only going to make me better. And then God is just testing us to see if we deserve more. And it's dude, I don't want to let him down in the test.
Yeah.
Amen.
The lower the valley, the higher the peak, right? So you just gotta keep going.
Let's go. You guys want me to share? You mean to share the little clip?
I've got it uploading right now into StreamYard. It's
oh, perfect. Okay, good.
You got it finished. It's
Great.
processing now, so
Great.
it'll be ready probably in 30 seconds.
See, Cody, Colin's got a lot of good things to share, but he doesn't post on social media.
Right?
You're right. I need
to. Matt Murray just said how important is branding, dude. We wouldn't know each other if I didn't lean into it.
We wouldn't have this podcast if we didn't know you, Cody. So
yeah. And I think Cody, you're the prime factor that's got me to post a lot more on social. I don't post on my actual feed a lot, which I'm going to do more of, but I blow up my story all the time. It's definitely something that's helped change my business as well, with clients and recruiting. So
yeah, here you got it, buddy. Here's the question you want to ask people is are you a consumer or a creator? The average person spends 2 hours and 24 minutes a day on social media. Are you a consumer, which means you're just sitting here consuming it all day for 2 hours and 24 minutes a day, which is literally 1/12 of your life, which is kind of wild to think about over 7 years if you live to be 84. Or are you a creator? Because I don't actually get on social media that much. Do I get on it for probably less than an hour a day? My team is the one that creates, and we create it together, I guess, but they're the one that are really putting it out so that other people can consume my content. I would be in any capacity, I would rather be a creator than a consumer. And so 8 years ago, in a month and 19 days, I made a decision to be a creator of content, even though I only had 351 subscribers. Like you see this 100K subs in July, right? 7.5 years later, the first year, 351 of the 100K, 351 subs. Like I was the worst YouTuber in the history of YouTube. I was the worst at building a brand, the worst at doing videos, the worst at, like, I didn't know crap. My titles sucked. Thumbnails were terrible. I built thumbnails. I made this cork board in Microsoft Word to create thumbnails for my YouTube videos because I didn't know what I was doing, right? Ridiculous. I guess Joe beat me because it was worse. 348, man. I guess you were worse than me, but I was terrible. What does that say about Joe? I don't know, man. Okay. I love Joe. But dude, you want to be a consumer or a creator? You know what I mean? And I would rather be people consuming my stuff than me consuming other people's stuff personally.
And while we're on the topic of creating things, before we show this trailer, can you go into a little bit about what inspired you to create
Absolutely.
the Ultimate Agent?
So I shared the story. I was in Puerto Rico at the end of our Power Player Mastermind. And when I get in like cool destinations and do events and some big stuff, it makes my brain, makes me more creative. I'm just in a creative state. And so it was like 2:30 in the morning, Eastern time or Atlantic time or whatever the freaking time it was. We were on the bus headed back to the airport. It was on a Sunday after the end of Power Players. We had just chartered 4 helicopters to dinner the night before, which was wild. One of the craziest things I've ever done. And I was sitting there like, I need to do a contest or something fun or like do something big where people are competing against each other. And like I started brainstorming. And before I knew it, just these ideas started rolling. And then I ended up filling up this doc in Google with ideas. And then I get home and I keep working on it more, even though I didn't get any sleep. I got like 3 hours of sleep, but I like kept working. And then next Monday, I rolled it out to our team and say, we're rolling this out to the world in 72 hours. And it was a freaking blast. If you haven't watched it, season 1 is on our YouTube channel at Cody Askins. Season 2 is coming out later this month, probably. And then evolved. Like a lot of time it starts with one baby idea and then it evolves into something bigger. And so for me, it evolved into this reality show. And most people are not, there's no reality shows for insurance. They're all real estate based if it's like an industry, right? And so if there's more millionaires in insurance, but it's the hardest career in the world because only 8% succeed, then I think it deserves a show. And so one of my dreams and visions is to get an actual reality show on a streaming service for the industry. And we'll do it at some point. It may take a while. But for now, we're doing our own reality show. I've got 3 full-time videographers. Keith's an editing machine. And
Keith's the man.
We've been working on this for 6 months. He was up all night, Sunday night and Monday morning, finishing this thing. We just got episode 10 done. Now we're going back and doing a bunch of fine tuning to the whole show, but it's an insane amount of work. The hardest project we've ever put together in our life by far.
Keith is the absolute man. We'll go ahead and play the clip, but afterwards I want to make sure we hit on Keith a little bit because he is a monster and with one kind of a few member of crew makes genuine high value production level things. It's amazing. We've seen some clips from season 2 ourselves and it's so good.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Roll the trailer.
Welcome to Ultimate Agent Season 2.
My name is Donald Field.
Colin Bingham.
It's Alexander Sola.
Marissa Milazzo.
Charity Fox.
Adam Lindsay.
Jarrell Simpson.
Give yourselves a hand for being here.
Let's go, baby. And it's go time, baby. It is go time.
Just like Ultimate Agent Season 1, we will have challenges and eliminations. And we will eventually crown the Ultimate Agent that will win $121,000.
We want you to be vulnerable. A lot of opportunities in life that you look back and say, Why was I so lazy?
One of the main reasons I came onto the show is to make him proud.
Is that all you got, bro? Y'all thought you were quicker than this. You're 19, man. Like,
Work harder than you've ever worked before.
I will be the winner of Ultimate Agent Season 2.
Adam's on his first call already.
Second call.
This is real. I have no app.
Don't stop dialing. Don't stop knocking.
I don't think I'm gonna get sent home today.
These agents about to get uncomfortable.
Listen, you're about to step all outside of your comfort zone.
Let's
Yes.
go.
So good.
Fire. So
Okay.
fire.
God, they do such a great job. Keith is the absolute man, from the soundtrack to the editing to the angles, the storyline.
Can we
I
bring
love
Keith
it.
into the frame real quick?
Yeah, Keith, come over here. Actually, you know what?
Let's
You,
go.
you guys interview Keith for a second. I'm going to run to the bathroom and pee because I'm about to piss myself. So I'll be right back.
It's that mineral water going right through you.
What's up, party people?
Keith,
What's up?
What's up?
the man.
Behind the scenes.
The guy who hasn't seen sunlight in 6 months. I'm seeing spiders crawling everywhere, I think.
Well, now you can give us like the real details while Cody's not in the room. You know,
It's really good. Like, it legitimately is. I thought the first season was good, and as we were putting it together, I'm like, holy smokes, it actually looks and feels like reality TV. I think we really locked in like a winning formula and really pushed it to its max this season. The whole show, and it has a lot to do with just who you guys are as people, being so vulnerable and open. So we constantly know how you're feeling and what your struggles are, and you guys were good about like just explaining what you're going through throughout your day. You were on board with the message of like, not only are we competing, but we're also training and educating other agents, and we're not trying to hold anything too close to our chest as far as what our challenges are, because we're not doing it for ourselves. I think you guys understood that. Another thing, I've been working crazy hours on it because I'm watching you guys all day. How am I gonna quit when I got Donnie putting in his 300th dial of the day as I'm putting in the timeline? I can't quit if you guys don't. You guys didn't quit, so.
Dude, Keith, I appreciate you, bro. Golly, this guy is a freaking beast. This guy's
Yeah.
a backbone behind everything. This dude is a freaking monster. We love you, bro. I appreciate it.
I
Love you
cannot
too, man.
stress enough how the level of work that you output is amazing. It's genuine Hollywood level, high dollar value things, and just a few man operation and yourself. It's amazing.
Thank you, man. I put a lot of attention into making sure that it was as watchable as possible. I know you guys did your part. Like I said, as I was watching you, just kept inspiring me to do more, push harder, make it better and better and better. So I know that everyone on the stream and everyone that watches it is going to love it for sure.
Absolutely.
Cody's got to be careful because if it's too high quality, you know, somebody might buy you out and you might go work somewhere else.
Hey, you know, there's no one else that's done more for me than Cody Askins, and
Absolutely.
that's not going to change based off any relationship I make in the future.
Cody's a beast. Well, thank
Love
you,
you
Keith.
guys.
You're amazing.
Hey.
We love
You're
you.
amazing,
Thank you,
Keith. We
man.
love you.
Love you, Keith.
Shout out Keith in the chat, please.
Dude, freaking love Keith. Was he drinking any of my water while I was gone?
He should have.
No one else drinks that nasty stuff, dude.
I didn't used to like it like 3 months ago at all.
Plain mineral water.
Dude, we should just do an 8-hour episode today. Like syndicate, we're taking over, man. You know,
What does that even taste like, though? What does it even taste like?
Water.
Uh,
Like spicy water.
yeah, it just takes like water that has carbonation.
Bubbleized. Uglies.
Yeah, a little bit.
So let's get into meat
Like
potatoes.
club
When is
soda?
season 2 coming out?
Oh, good question, Keith. When do you think we'll release this thing? If you had to guess, end of the month, beginning of next month.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it'd be this month. Could be like the first week of next month.
Yeah, either the last week of November or the first week of December, probably.
Go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
It's coming up
Oh, yeah,
quick.
I'm so excited.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I know you guys
Go.
try to keep it like tight and like not share too much. But is there anything that we can share today as kind of like a special preview, sneak peek for our audience?
Anything we could
Video wise, I think it's such a long form show.
not video,
Okay.
just in general. So like I would say one of the things that's cool is we got more creative. You guys saw this. We got more creative with like the challenges and some of the games and some of the things that we did this year. The first one, I'm telling you, you may have saw a glimpse of it on the thing, but where I was talking to Alex while he's on the ground, the very first one Thanksgiving week would be awesome, by the way. People are gonna be at home. Or
yeah.
traveling or whatever. The very first contest, right out of the gate, within minutes of starting the show, is so wild, and there's so many layers behind the scenes that were going on that people won't even understand. Like, people were stealing each other's stuff. Like, it was cool. It was really cool.
I don't want to like give away what the challenge was, but it was so funny to me when you flipped the thing over and all the stuff fell out, and then like everybody just started running to the floor. You're like, wait, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, we weren't even done. That was only half of what we were going to put out. Yeah.
It's an immediate glimpse into all of our personalities, and it was so fun and so wild.
I thought I had made an eternal enemy with Donald that first freaking competition.
Everybody was an
in
enemy.
solid. I came in very much.
You came in
villain.
being a little sneaky snake, dude. That's what you were.
Somebody was snaking the others. That's for sure.
So was Adam. Adam was a little snake.
Hey, no. Only for like 2 minutes, and then I was like, okay.
2 minutes. Come on.
Oh, jeez. I love it. What a cool show, man. I'm proud of you guys. What you guys are doing is really awesome. It's admirable. It really
So
is.
for the audience members, watching, how can someone present themselves and potentially be on season 3?
So we have I think if you go to, is this on our, I think it's on our site at CodyAskins.com, where we've got like a CA Studios, maybe it's castudios.com. Let me go look. Where you can actually go to the studios page. Keith, will you tell them that part of our site's down again for somehow? But you can go there, and there's actual application to submit for season 3. And I think it's just like CodyAskins.com/studios or something.
I think I see it.
And then I don't know how, I can't find it at the moment, but it's on the site. But I don't know how we'll pick people next time. Last time we did a tour with you guys. I don't know what we'll do this time. I want to do something unique and fun. Like, again, dude, if I don't do anything, like I spoke a couple weeks ago, I spoke 4 times in 1 week. Now I'm not speaking at all this week, and I'm like bored out of my flipping mind, man. Like, I need something fun to do. Did we lose Collin?
Looks like it.
Yeah, he bailed on us. He bailed.
Fucking dipped, bro.
He's
He
like,
dipped.
I got a Medicare appointment I gotta go to.
He probably does.
Dude's been writing a freak ton of MAPDs, bro.
Yeah.
He's
That's
a beast.
That's awesome.
Golly.
Well, does anybody have any other questions for Cody before we let him get back to his busy day?
How can people get in contact with you?
What's your cell phone number?
417-343-4397. Or Cody at CodyAskins.com. Instagram DMs is probably the easiest, at Cody.Askins. Yeah.
What does the next year have in store for Cody Askins? We have, of course, season 2 coming out. I know we have your other show, the Agency Investor. That looks really great. I can't wait to watch that. So what does the next year look like for Cody Askins?
We're going to get back to doing 1 major road show per month. Moving offices, I think, will give me some new ideas and newfound energy and reinvigorate me. And we're going to also do a show. We're going to start a live show again, like a weekly live show, like in my studio, like I used to way back in the day. We're going to bring that back.
Heck yeah.
I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but we're going to do that here. Start that here in a couple, probably a week and a half or so. Once I move studios.
Would it be like a bring on a guest type of thing, or is it just you dropping some bombs for everyone?
It could be both. It'll be probably more just me, but I may bring on the occasional guest, and then we'll do it. We'll just stream it live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever we can stream it.
I remember when I first found you on YouTube and watching those videos and just being like, man, I wish I could have watched this live. Like, that would have been so cool.
That's all.
Because those videos, I mean, you still get a ton of views on those videos, don't you?
Yeah. That was actually one of the ways I built the channel the fastest. Was I was doing a live show. At one point, I was doing a live show every single day.
Wow.
Like literally every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all at 2:00. It was like interest agent training and phone phenom and telesales tycoon and one show at one point was called Deal Breakers and Brain Power, and we had a bunch of freaking. It was and terrible names, most of them, but we were doing a show like constantly. It goes back to relentless consistency, and so I just want to do one a week for up to an hour, but I want to bring it back. And I used to host a radio show on ESPN, local ESPN station, not the big ESPN, for like 4 years on fantasy football. And so I enjoy hosting a show. So, and you know what, if I could do this all day, this is what I prefer to do,
Yeah.
And I guess what the best thing I can do for our company is this all day, so I'm excited to bring that back. We'll have to have you guys on the show at some point.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when you have a chair like that you can sit in for hours to talk to people, not like the chairs that we had to sit in for the show.
Yeah.
It's great.
You guys are lucky I gave you a chair.
True. Well, Cody, we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Oh, look, Collin's back. He made it.
Heck yeah. Just in time.
We thought you quit on us.
My internet quit on us.
Oh, did it really? I do have to get to a appointment, but I love you guys and I appreciate you having me on. This has been amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we appreciate you.
And we're looking forward to the show, as I'm sure everyone else is. So we will see y'all next week.
Later, y'all.
Okay. See ya.
Appreciate you.